Hey, what's up? This is Connect out there in High Vibes. In today's video, I just want to talk about basically religions and old dogmas and stuff that is holding you back from growing spiritually. And I'll just get into it right away. So we all, at some point, kind of looked into the religion, or we've been part of religion, or we've there's some people out there that are atheists and all these different types of religions that are out there, but there's one thing that we all should be understanding about these religions and taking things with a grain of salt is that things have been watered down over time. These religions are no longer what they used to be. They used long time ago they used to speak about truth, but they all speak about the same thing as well. If we all look at it, there's all different parts they all describe different things, just like in these videos. We're all describing the spiritual or God, Nirvana, whatever you want to call it. It's all the same thing, but people have gotten so programmed to the point where they believe that this is the real God or this is the other God. But in all reality, those were just created by our own imagination, so that way we could tap in to do certain things. But we all got to understand that these religions aren't what's truly gonna get us into the afterlife. It's not wrong to explore religion or understand it, explore it and understand what it's about, and try to see between the lines of what they're actually trying to say, and then start to put the lines together. See, what people do when they start going through religions is they get into religion, then all of a sudden they just take it for what it is. They just think, all right, this is the word, this is what it needs to be. Got agents trying to attack me, but anyways, they don't take the time to actually start to once they see it, they don't take the time to start connecting the dots with the other books. They don't actually do the research. They just take the book and they're like, all right, and they just run off with it, and they're like, all right, this is exactly the way it should be. I'm putting my faith 100% in this book, and I haven't took my time to even use my critical thinking, my logic, or a little bit of creativity to think within myself, or take the time to meditate to see what really is within inside myself and what it means to be a spiritual person or even a religious person, if you want to take it that way. But you have to understand that these things were created to basically, at one point it was a good thing, it was meant to enlighten people, it was meant to help people, but now it's not something that's good. These religions have now just became a profit. It's not something that it's actually going to help you. It's actually, unless you can see between the lines, but it's not like you don't want to get yourself entrapped into a cycle and get yourself boxed in to that mindset. Excuse me. To that mindset where you're basically following these programs and you end up reincarnating because you simply followed one book that isn't what's going to get you out of here. You have to go within yourself to find the true answers, because you can pray for something to happen, you can do those things, but what's really going to change? Who's going to fix your problems? If you've had a problem in life and you sit there, pray to Jesus or God or whatever you want to say, you might get some sort of reaction out of it, but the only way you're truly going to be fix your problems is by going within and solving your problems with what you've done in your life, or things that you feel sorry about, or things that you've done that you're upset about within yourself that you won't confront, but you will go to a church or something to confess your sins or things like that. You have to go within and forgive yourself and learn to go out into nature and reconnect with the spirit within things, so that way you can grow and take things to that next step, because it's all part about growing. It's not about just being stagnant and just accepting one thing. Life is always continuously growing. If you look at nature, it's always growing. Things are dying, things are always sprouting, things are always changing. Nothing ever stays the same. Just like if there's a book, that book isn't always going to stay the same. But the way what happened with these books, they got basically infiltrated by the snake. And if you can look in all the religions, there's always a snake that's involved. It's that snake entity that roams through the planet, that wants to consume and devour and puts you back into a box within your mind. And that's what these people don't want. They don't want you to be free from these type of things, because if you can be free, you realize your true potential as a spiritual person. You do have the ability to make a difference in this world, but you can't allow yourself to get caught up in things where you're putting yourself in cycles and con cycles where you're not actually growing. You're just stagnating yourself and not actually progressing to your highest potential that you're supposed to be in life. You want to keep growing, keep expanding, that consciousness. Because just like the universe, they even tell you in science, it's always ever growing and expanding. You really think about the Big Bang, it was like boom, and just, it just keeps growing. It's the same thing with you. There's a Big Bang inside of you, and it just keeps growing. It's that consciousness, that spark. just can't allow these programs to dictate the way you live in life. You have to learn to be free within yourself, so that way it reflects, and learn to become a loving being within inside yourself. You can't let things tell you how to be in life. You have to progress in life by being a spiritual person and going within. But there's some people that have different paths. If there's people that are going to obviously go down the negative path, because that's part of the duality in life. You have to understand all the concepts of life, because there's always yin and yang to everything. In these books, there was a good part to it, but now there's bad parts to it. And like, most people can't even put the dots together, because people have been programmed so much to just take things for what they are. I talked about a video about how misinformation agents will actually present something to you, make it sound real nice, make you feel good, but at the end of the day, it's just a big pile of shit, because it's not true. It's not coming from spirit anymore. Things change. That we live in a different time. There's technology now. There's different things that are happening in this world, and we have to understand that things aren't always going to stay in different aspects of spirituality, because spirit's always going to grow. And if you're not growing with spirit, if you're not on that momentum with spirit's like, all right, you're going to go off to the side, and you're just going to be another person that's becoming stagnant and end up being like a dying tree that ends up in a place with no water, because spirit's that water. When you're with spirit, you're getting that life, that vitality, because you're meditating, you're going within. That life within, that spiritual energy is within you, and you have to connect with that and allow and stop the ego from actually controlling you. You have to take that step, so that way you can become more spiritual beings, so that way you can progress to higher stages of consciousness, because that's what it's supposed to be here. It's not supposed to be stagnating. You're not supposed to just think that this is it. There's more to life than what you think there is. You have to stop these religious programs from stopping you from progressing in life. You have to always continue this momentum of progressing towards your expectations of becoming what you expected to be in life. You can't just be somebody. Well, you can if you want to. Like, that's your choice. I'm not going to sit there and mope over people's choices to be stagnant. That's your choice. If you want to do that, like, fine, go ahead. Like, but people that want to be spiritual and want to really turn up and really get the experience in life and really turn up and get to that limitless status in life and really tap into those type of things, because you can. It's just people want to put in the work to do it. They don't want to take the time to actually connect the dots between life. There's a reason why they invented puzzles. It's putting the picture together. If you had to start looking at life and see where they get all these type of things, we live in a matrix. Where do you think all this stuff comes from? All the designs and things like that. It comes from spirit, because everything that they had to create came from spirit. All the buildings that you see, it came from nature. All the elements and things that it has to originate from spirit. Because spirit created this matrix, not the. That's the illusion that these people have made, the man-made matrix. These walls, these things that are cemented, and roads that they pave. It's a grid that they created, so that way they can start influencing people and get people entrapped inside their matrix. The original matrix was the nature, the spirit within the nature, and connecting with the animals and seeing things for what they really were. But now we live in a different time, and it can be a good utopia if we can learn to balance things out. And that's what we have to do, is learn to balance ourselves out and start being able to decode these things that are in front of us. And a lot of people should start doing these things, and not just take religion for what it is. You have to be able to criticize things and understand that not everyone's just going to tell you the truth. If you just take a book and think that everyone's just telling you the truth all the time, how are you ever going to be able to perceive what's right and wrong if you're not being able to ask yourself what you think is right and wrong, and like really truly go within and take the time to meditate? It's like, if you haven't gotten the time to meditate and truly see things for what they are, you need to start going within and meditate, because that's going to help you clear out your mind. If your mind's always chattering and saying this and that, and if you try to meditate and your mind just keeps talking, why do you think that is? Why do you think that your mind's continuously talking and like it's just chattering inside your mind? Because that connection isn't strong with the true spirit of God, or whatever you want to call it. You need to connect with that spirit within you, because it's important for you to be able to leave this place. You're not going to leave this place if your ego is sitting there out of control. You have to learn. This is like, people say, oh yeah, we live in the third dimension, we're achieving a higher state of consciousness. It's like, if we're going to get to a higher state of consciousness, what do you have to do? You think that by not putting in work or doing something to be able to, by not putting in work, you're not going to get to a certain spot? Think of life. Look how things are designed here. In order to get something, you have to work for it. Everything that's in this matrix system, you have to understand that it is designed to work for something, and they base that off of spirit. Basically, the way spirit, they just took it and flipped it upside down and took the mirror hex, as above, so below. They got even movies, they tell you, they show you things, they're putting stuff right. The best secret is to put it in someone's face, because they won't believe it. And that's why we have RTM, the RTM Spirit Family Community, all the connects that are true in RTM that are putting out videos, so that way you people can turn up and start to see these type of things, because you need to be able to start to see these things, because It's that important to be able to decode. You're naturally supposed to do these things. You're naturally supposed to be able to see things for what they are. But over time, through the ancestors, through the times, has been taken away from us. We have to be able to understand that not everything is what it seems. Truth is stranger than fiction. They've said that before. So just make sure to keep turning up, start observing things for what they are, and really just go within yourself. And you don't have to take my word for it, just do it. Like, you'll see. You don't have to take my word, but Spirit will guide you. And like, as long as you understand when your ego starts to get in the way, that it's your ego speaking to you and it's trying to stop you from connecting with the people that are like-minded like us, that are true spiritual people, then you got to understand that's your ego. You can't let that block you from going to higher stages of consciousness, because that's what they want. They don't want you to exceed the limitations that they put boxes onto you. Because what are boxes? Those are limitations. When you're out of the box, you're expanding that limitation of just what's in the box. You're growing. They made a box for everybody. They even build houses. They got boxes upon boxes for people. They got mind boxes, non-physical boxes. They got boxes, stores. They put things in littler boxes, big boxes. They're always packing things in boxes. There's always a constant program that they're trying to put people in. It's a metaphysical and physical type of thing. They don't want you to break free, and they hate that. They want you to be in the illusion. They don't want you to be free. You know why? Because, like I said before, they don't want you to understand your true potential. Because once you do, you can do a lot of things. And just remember to have that balance with it, because we are powerful spiritual beings, but it comes from the spirit, and but we don't have that power at the same time. It's a duality type of thing. Duality exists here for a reason. It's for you to understand, because it's important to understand both aspects of life. You have to continue to balance all these things, decode and learn to balance all aspects of your Trinity, spirit, mind, and body, because that's how you become the best, highest potential you can be, by looking at life, decoding, understanding things to a higher perspective, being able to look into people's eyes and see the liar and the snake within their eyes, being able to feel their energy and tap back into who you truly are, so that way you can protect yourself and protect the people that you love most. If you have a family out there and you really want to help them and protect them, and one day be able to remember who they are, it's do you want to just die and not be able to remember, or have that energy signature where you can actually find your one that you loved in life, or be connected with them once again? Do you just want to die and think that you can go through these religions you're just going to die and then you go to heaven or nirvana or anything like that? It's it doesn't happen like that. We all wish that it sounds sweet. We can all admit to that. It sounds nice. We just live life, we work and we laugh and all these things. Yeah, it's nice, but in all reality, it's that the ego thinks that's nice. Your spirit understands to a higher perspective once you connect with it, and your higher self, that's not what it's about, and your ego will get sad over that. Your ego will fight with you, and the agents will even attack your ego to get your ego to attack you, because that's the snake. That's what people are in the hive mind. It's because it's all their ego. It's something that they don't want, and when you're not in your ego, it's that program that kicks in to basically get your ego to lash out. They're all right, this person's ego is not the way our egos are, so why isn't it like it? So they get activated to try to bring your ego into that vibration, into that box, so that way you become a boxed in person, and you just start following the programs like them, and you just become somebody where when they tell you to go over there, you go over there, and when they say go over there, you go over there. When they say this is the new hot clothing, you go and buy the new hot clothing. Instead of being that one person that just follows all the things, be that unique person that becomes a spirituality and beat to your own drum that's inside your heart. Find your own rhythm in life. Find that passion that's within you, so that way you can vibrate it out into the world and help change the matrix for what it really is, because it needs to be done. Do you really want this world to continue in a downward spiral of chaos and negativity? But we're having that for a reason. It's part of the duality. You have to start to balance yourself out. But it's getting a pretty long video. It's probably the longest video I've ever made. Just kind of going with the flow, because I want to continue making these videos for you guys. I was going to turn up this summer for you guys, so that way you guys can all turn up. We're all going to turn up this year, regardless of what's going on with these agents, because the agents were turned up for a while, but now we're going to turn up. It's a balanced thing. It's part of the duality. They're going to turn up, and we're going to turn. Well, they're not really turning up. They're turning down, but we're turning up, and they're going to turn down. As we go higher, they're going to go lower. It's just the way it is, and eventually, those people will just get deleted or something like that and be gone, because at a certain point they can't reach you, because your vibration's higher. Just imagine a bunch of people that are really super high in vibration that are coming together. That's really going to change a lot of things. Trust me, like I said, you don't have to take my word for it. You don't have to believe in me. Believe inside your spirit, and that trust within, you know, who you truly are as a spiritual being. You know, come join us at Reprogram the Matrix. Come, you know, buy the spiritual products. You know, it's not a gimmick to make you just buy things. It's there to help you. Like, we all got high vibing, you know, we all got high vibing products for you to help. You know, I got this from brother Steven, all these rose quartz. You know, I really appreciate it, and I got this band, you know, from him. You know, at highvibebands.com. I'll have a link in the description. Also to reprogramthematrix.com. I also have the incense. I have a website that is currently being worked on. I also sell incense. You know, I did have the spiritual incenses, but I'm having something be redone on that, so that way it's more organized, things like that. So that way it's more connected for everybody. So it's easier to access different things for like community web pages and things like that. So you all who are watching my videos, who are new to like my videos and stuff like that, so way you can buy certain products that are going to help you. You know, because these are high vibing crystals that he puts his high vibrations into, and that love. You know, these are the rose quartz that love, and I have love for a lot of people that are out there, you know, and we got to make sure that we love each other and help support each other. That's how it's going to happen, you know. You got to even see these people that are snakes, you know, they understand, even though that they're egotistical, they have to still come together in order to make this work. They didn't just, one person to just build this matrix system away, that they had to collaborate with each other regardless of their egos, and they understood that. And that's how they were able to succeed in doing that, and they got people separated now and into the illusion that it's about being separated. Because once you can truly understand the truth about things, you can really start to connect with others and connect within yourself and resonate out with others. Just make sure to have that shield. If people are being mean to you, you know, stand up for yourself. You know, sometimes you do have to be like, no, get the fuck back up off of me. Stop fucking attacking me. Like, I ain't gonna take your fucking shit. Like, you have to be able to do those type of things and understand there's duality for a reason. You have to be able to protect yourself. You know, if a bear was hungry and then there's a deer, you know, that deer is gonna either run or sometimes it might fight back. You never know. It's part of life. But just make sure to turn up. You know, Astro Solson's got the tea. You know, High Vibes tea. I'll have a link in the description to a couple actually websites. Brother Austin's, he's got the High Vibe and soaps. I'll have a link to all of that. And if you want a discount on the RTM store, I'll leave a link in the description, or like it's a code that you can use to actually get like a 5% discount, I think. Just type in RTM Brandon, and that's all you gotta type in. Just capital RTM and then my name, Brandon. It's one whole thing. You'll get a 5% discount on any of the products there. Make sure to get those. And also just want to talk about basically the spiritual chi recharging. I highly recommend getting that. You know, I've been using that a lot lately, and that's definitely been helping me turn up. And I recommend anybody who wants to get on their spiritual chi, you know, and recharge themselves, because, you know, there is a lot of energy exchanges that are always happening, because, you know, you got to understand that there's balance, even in the non-physical part. You know, this is the physical, and then there's the non-physical. And when you're around certain people, yeah, there's going to be certain situations where your energy does get drained, because it's just part of what it needs to be. There's always a transfer, you know. Like right now, I'm speaking. This is energy that is coming out of me to speak to you people, so that way you can receive a certain message. It's all part of the balance. That needs to be the giving and receiving. You know, there's a balance to everything. And I also have the incense. Yeah, the names will be, I forgot the names, but I'll have a link in the description. You know, check me out. I will have the incense. They're very high in vibes. You know, they're gonna help you turn up. You know, I'm gonna have different types of incense. You know, I did have some pictures. I'm gonna have real pictures. You know, because I had like a little pile of, like, I don't think people understood that, like, what I was selling. You know, I do have like $4.44 for like 15 incense in a pack. You know, they come in packages, little plastic bags. You know, I got lavender, eucalyptus, I know, and I also have the Dragon's Breath. That's $6.44. If you want that, just leave a comment below and get in touch with me, and I'll leave my email so you can actually get in touch with me, and I'll be able to, or I'll have it on the website, so that way you can actually just buy it off of there actually. But let me know if you're interested in actually purchasing these items, and I'll be able to, or shoot me, you know, just send me anything, and I can make whatever you people are vibing with out there, because I plan to make all the different types of incense that are going to be out there for you people, because I know incense, you know, relates to the inner sense, and I'm going to bring those incense to people to help them tap back into their inner selves, you know, that spiritual connection within themselves, that ethericness, because, you know, there's duality. You know, we have the physical and the non-physical, and that non-physical deals with the ethericness, you know, that the other side of reality. So when you use my incense, it's going to help you basically do that to a certain degree, you know, and it's not going to work for those who have negative intentions, because I'm not going to have my incense for people that are going to try to use them for negative intentions. So that's going to backfire on them, you know. times 100 if they think they're going to use that type of stuff like that, because they're all just tools. All these things are just tools to help you tap back into who you truly are as a spiritual being. And that's basically, you know, what I wanted to say in this video. You know, check out all the high vibing products that we have. You know, and don't forget to use that code. I'll have it in the link in the description and to all the website, you know, to the Reprogram the Matrix. Just check us out, you know, to get on your spiritual game. Don't be afraid to connect with others, because at one point I was afraid to connect, you know, because all the program that I had in me, but, you know, I was sick of it. You know, at some point we all get sick of the lies and the deception. You know, we want to find truth in life. We want to understand that there's more to life than what this is. You know, we just can't allow. At some point we all ask, you know, why am I here? You know, who am I? And I'm pretty sure any of you out there have asked that question, but just don't be afraid to connect with people that are going to help you rise up, and don't let your ego get in the way from you truly rising to your highest potential, because there's been connects that have already fallen off because they've gotten the confirmation from spirit, but then their egos have gotten in the way from them actually connecting even to a higher stage of consciousness. They weren't able to go through their own doorway. They were too afraid to, or even observe their ego for what it is, and they allowed their ego to pull them back down into a tornado of chaos. You know, they didn't pick up that call, and it's unfortunate, but at the same time, if they want to do that, then that's fine. That's their choice, you know. But those true ones that are out there that really want to turn up, they're the ones that are gonna, you know, see things and experience things on a whole nother level. But you don't want to, like I said, get ready for 2017. You don't want to be playing catch up. This is the time right now. If you haven't started, you need to start now. This is the time, because things are gonna change eventually. You don't have to take my word for it, but it will change. Just make sure to turn up on it. So that's all I want to say in this video. Peace and out with my highest vibrations. My full gratitude and my full love to our watching. Peace and out with my highest vibrations, and stay turned up.